Hey viewers, welcome to another game, Casual Pro Gamer. Today we're doing just a random live game. It is live because, well, the replay system has been kind of buggy, and by kind of buggy I mean completely buggy. It doesn't allow me to actually play through an entire game and it just crashes. So I decided to go with this, and this is just a live game, completely random. Yeah, I just wanted to try it out and maybe this will work better. The problem is, of course, that I have no clue whether this is going to be a good game or not. So if you want to send me a replay, don't use the old replay system. Use the LoL similar info. If you Google it, you can find it. They have a replay system as well. I want to try that out. The problem is I don't have anyone who can provide me with replays at this very moment. So if you feel like sending me a replay, yeah, that would be the way to do it. It seems to be a much better way to do replays anyway, because it's actually kept up to date, and that makes a big difference, of course. So we're going to just see some random early game stuff. I don't really expect a lot of early game, well, anything, because, well, it is League of Legends, and League of Legends mostly has a 15 to 20 minute laning phase in which not a whole lot is going to happen, especially if people ward correctly. And of course we can see this kind of things where people are just, not careful enough and getting killed. So yeah, I was kind of wrong that there wasn't a lot of early game action, but yeah, it's mostly isolated incidents. And yeah, these kind of things, this should never happen, by the way. There is no way that should happen twice in a row. And well, I guess they do have kind of a problem with the range on their characters and the fact that they're being pushed back. But as I said, if you know what's going to happen, you should be able to prevent it. At least in most cases. And sometimes that means losing your lane at least a little bit, but yeah, that's quite fine. I mean, it's better than getting killed, and it's definitely never good to just take damage without getting anything for it. Of course, it's okay to take damage if you're going for a kill, but yeah, normally you can prevent your damage, or at least well, reduce it to the amount which is necessary to get done what you're trying to get done. But yeah, well, anyway, enough about that. We are going to see the first gank coming in here. It is, yeah, a little bit hard for them to kill the first guy, but yeah, there's enough damage on them. The problem was they couldn't really catch up in time, but yeah, with Nidalee as a jungler, you should have enough, well, enough damage. The problem is normally chasing potential, of course. But yeah, chasing potential, not a problem here, because, well, they did get the kill, and that is all that matters. So Riven seems to be, well, not very fazed by that first blood. She does still push quite a lot. Of course, she should be able to win this, at least in the early game, until Tryndamere gets some items up. And even then, she should be able to not so much dominate the lane, but at least keep it even. I think they're pretty evenly matched in the late game. Of course, it all depends on the early game. If Riven gets a big advantage in the early game, then yeah, that is going to be really hard to work with. And that means that, yeah, it should be a nice fight with, well, once the team fights start rolling around. So for now, the mid lane, of course, going, well, should be going to Ahri. Oh, let me switch them a little bit. Ahri. Oh, this is jungler. Yeah, I'm going to take a while to actually figure this out. I'm assuming this guy is, yeah, the AD carry for what it's worth. Riven is in top lane, and that would put this guy as the support. Wow. Everyone was really messed up. Anyway, the early game should go to Ahri. It indeed is going to Ahri. And in fact, the late game should go to Ahri as well, in the lane. Once we start the team fights, of course, then that is where Katarina really shines, and she should be able to do a lot of damage without taking a lot of damage because of those resets, of course. The resets making sure that you can burst people down really quickly, and that prevents you from dying. Not so much that she has defensive skills, because she really doesn't. It's just that, yeah, you can actually do a lot of damage in a short amount of time. and that should allow you to kill people before they kill you. Of course, you can go for some spell vamp and things like that. It is, I think, a reasonable option. Of course, pure damage will work as well, assuming that your teammates are actually paying attention and such. Riven definitely doing her best to keep the pressure up. The Tryndamere is still not level 6, so it's going to take a while for him to actually be able to activate his ultimate. Because now he has to fall back, he actually recalled completely. Yeah, he's going to lose some experience, lose some everything. Can I rearrange these as well? No, it seems that I cannot. Anyway, back to directed camera. So yeah, bottom lane, as usual, takes most of the focus off our directed camera here. Not so much because it's the most interesting lane, because it really isn't unless there's some ganking going on, but because people take the most damage. And there's the most encroachment on the enemy, well, enemy space, I guess. I don't really know how to put it otherwise, but yeah, you basically play very close together in bottom lane because there's always that potential of, yeah, just getting a lot of burst off. And here we're going to see that both teams trying to get the burst off on the support characters, and yeah, the very easy kill there. Well, not so much super easy, but yeah, Katarina coming from mid lane towards that bottom lane and actually getting done what the rest of the team could not get done, and that is just to pick up that kill. Of course, that is a very big advantage for her, because if she can get some early gold, then she can keep up with the Ahri, and we will have to see how that is working out for them. 2.3k versus 2.4k, so it's pretty much equal. There's about 40 gold between them. And are we going to see the ultimate? Oh, it is going to be... Oh my god, so close! But Riven does pick it up. As I said, she should be able to win the early game. And this, in my opinion, still early game. Because, well, we're at level 6 now for the Tryndamere. And she is currently at level 7, so yeah, she should be able to dominate that still. Of course, that doesn't mean that, well, that is actually the case, but yeah, big team fights, yeah, not a lot of surprises there. It was kind of a lot of damage on the blue team because they kept chasing. No, that's not actually true. The red team kept chasing. Well, I guess they grouped up a little bit better. They did have everyone there, whereas the Tryndamere was, of course, not there. And yeah, Nautilus, I want to say, yeah, Nautilus actually took a lot of damage before that fight even started, and that can really just completely demolish your team fighting potential. Because obviously, if you're just well, just not there as a tanky support, then yeah, that can really hurt your team's, well, your team's team fight. Obviously, not that good. But yeah, it seems that the bottom lane is now under a little bit of pressure. Nautilus should be able to clean that up. It's going to cost a little bit of the tower health, of course. But yeah, there's not a lot of tower pushing going on because, well, why would you? There's nothing to be gained really from pushing that tower early on. And of course it's cute if you get an early tower, but unless you can keep the pressure up, like we have seen like 5-minute games where people can keep the pressure up because they pick well, 5 80 carries or something like that, and then you can keep the pressure up because you're not dependent on mana, you're not dependent on your health because you can normally heal that back up. All in all, it's yeah, it's just a good deal if you can keep the pressure up, but if you can't keep the pressure up, then taking a tower early game or pressuring a tower really doesn't do a whole lot. So yeah, both lanes, both top and bottom lanes, getting some damage done. It seems that we should be able to pick up this kill here with Nautilus. We are going to get away from that. Apparently, yeah, the algorithm decided, well, she was safe anyway. algorithm, of course, has a little bit of an advantage over us because it can see into the future, as in it knows what's going to happen a few seconds from where we actually are. The ward gets taken out finally, and well, now it's this, well, kind of equal again in that bottom lane vision-wise. It's not a big deal, of course. The ward is relatively expensive, but it doesn't really matter whether it's there or not. For the blue team, it's nice to pick up because it's 30 extra gold, but also you miss like 150 gold, I believe, or 125 from the enemy pool of gold, because, well, you spent that and you're never getting it back. So lots of jumping around here from the camera. This should not happen normally. It might be because, well, my League of Legends is bugged, as you can see. It just, yeah, I don't know. I tried setting the start key from Fraps to something else, and then it still triggers this, I believe it's mouse lock, even though I turned it off in the options, or in the settings, and whatever, I don't really care. So Sejuani is going to get out of there, and just barely though, and she is going to be able to at least recall. Yeah, she is going to recall, no problem, it's good enough. So I wonder if this is real Crapo. I'm assuming it's not, because, well, it would be very coincidental if it were. And there we go, we get another kill. This should be a kill as well, because, well, where is he going to go, really? Yeah, nowhere, apparently. So, again, the push in top is, yeah, it's just good from both sides. It seems that Riven did lose a tower there, because she has been roaming a bit. And the roaming does cost you a little bit of map pressure in your own lane. But yeah, well, she did very well in the early game. Now, however, she's 1 and 2. Tryndamere has picked up 2 kills. So he is 2 and 1 now. And all in all, well, the Mias are pretty equal in that top lane. And the Riven is starting to lose some power compared to the Tryndamere. I think she should still be able to do it. But, well, we'll have to see if that is actually the case. Red buff getting picked up by the jungler. No problem here, of course. Well, the red buff is basically just, well, just there for her. Nobody else wants it except for the bottom lane. But yeah, the bottom lane is not going to run all the way to top to just go and get that. Yeah, not a whole lot of spectacular things happening at this moment. But yeah, you can see that. Just a little bit of board wars. Trying to get some control over the vision on the map. And yeah, once we get, well, one team dominating the vision, then I think we will see a little more action. It seems that the red team already thinks that this is the moment to go for that action. But Tryndamere says, I want your tower. So yeah, blue team, of course, happy to trade towers here because it's a level 1 for a level 2 tower. But yeah, Tryndamere not able to finish it off. He did get quite a lot of minions there and is now going to come back to mid lane, or come to mid lane, because he hasn't really been here yet. And he might actually be able to pressure that mid lane. The blue team doing a good job. Sorry, I'm assuming the red team, but it's blue-pink, so it's kind of strange. Anyhow, yeah, the red team doing a good job of keeping track of where he goes, actually pinging him on the map, because, well, there are a lot of wards out that spot where he's going. Which means that Riven actually has the time and the opportunity to push your lane. And yeah, they are saying, like, yeah, where is that Tryndamere? But yeah, they don't have to worry about it. He's coming back into the lane now. And he's not going to kill the Riven, I believe. But yeah, with 3 guys in the bottom lane, this might actually be a good gank. The lots of CC coming out of Sejuani. This is why I liked her. Nobody really played her, but she has a lot of potential. As in, she has a lot of good stuff that she can actually use. So yeah, she has a good amount of CC, and if she uses that correctly, she can actually dominate a team fight, or well, any kind of fight, because of the amount of stun she brings to the table. And yeah, well, that's the same, I guess, for Nautilus. So the combination of them becomes really ridiculously powerful. Almost a good javelin there from Nidalee, but it got flashed, and yeah. Unfortunately, the Sejuani does fall, and this was why people don't like to play her, because well, the movement speed that she has is kind of low. She does have a jump, or well, I guess a flash-like ability if you want, and that means that she can jump over walls without using her flash. But yeah, once she uses that, she is actually pretty weak when it comes to, well, dodging stuff. Nidalee, no, it doesn't care, and yeah, it's just going to do her own stuff. She's going to ward up some places with her camps, and yeah, I'm not sure. I'm still not sure what I like, whether I like these new camps. I think they're a little bit too weird. I liked the jungle when it was just jungle, and yeah, then they kind of changed it around a little bit. Well, a lot actually. It used to be like it is now, as in the jungle creeps were very hard to deal with, and well, that was fine. I mean, you had dedicated junglers, and then of course we got all of these power junglers, and well, mostly assassins that went into the jungle. And then they were complaining about, yeah, we don't get enough gold, man. We want you to change the jungle. So they changed the jungle, and then they made the jungle easier and made it have more gold. And yeah, then they decided, well, maybe that was a mistake, like virtually everything we invent. And they went back and did the old thing again. So to me that was kind of funny, because, well, it was kind of ridiculous that you had junglers that would decide the game actually before anything else, because if you picked a classic jungler, then you would just lose, because the junglers were what made the game. So Static Shift doing a lot of work there. It seems that yeah, that he just cleaned that wave with like 3 hits. But yeah, that's Static Shift, man. It's a lot of damage. So it does seem that we are going to clear out some of the wards. There are not a lot of wards here for the blue team, so not a lot to clean up. And bottom lane is still getting pushed. Now the little bit of extra pressure should be able to clear this tower. And there you go, tower destroyed. And yeah, this is just such a weird way to play. I'm sorry, but whatever. Oh my god. Just some jungling going on. Here, we're 20 minutes into the game now, and we still haven't seen a lot of actual fighting. There have been some skirmishes, some ganks, but really, there's still nothing happening. This is really what annoys me about this game, and I really wish they could find something to actually, well, remedy that. The problem is, of course, that they kind of are committed to what they did before. I don't think that the Riven is going to survive that. But yeah, the team fight in mid, of course, way more spectacular. So we should be able to see some really game-breaking victory here, but no, apparently not. So Riven is going to get out for now, and she is going to get the... Wow, not the kill back. Yeah, the heal, of course, just healing him up after he lost his invulnerability. And, well, that was awesome. So we saw some team fighting, we saw people die, but did anything really change? Yeah, well, the gold changed a little bit. But outside of that, did we really see anything that that now, well, provides map pressure or anything? Yeah, of course, that was an easy kill. A nice awareness that, of course, the low health guy was still there, and they should be able to pick him up easily. So yeah, Very well done. And we are going to pressure the top lane a little bit. The tower still hasn't fallen, which is quite surprising, because the tower really should have fallen by this time. Riven has had time alone to pressure that, and she just was too afraid, I guess. Well, and rightfully so, I guess. She is 1 and 3, so there's that. She really didn't do that well in the early game, or in the mid game, I guess. She didn't do as well as I kind of thought she would. I thought it would be kind of equal, because obviously you can make that equal by just, well, just having the amount of damage she has. She also has a lot of well, running away potential. So if she's in a fight where she doesn't want to be, normally we see her run out, get a shield and just a few dashes and everything should be fine. However, in this case, not so much. The Nautilus is going to get killed here. Yes, there we go. Not a whole lot he could do about that. He did his best to get out of that, and yeah, well, just too much damage. Finally, we're getting some pressure on. Pressure on this mid lane tower. The mid lane tower, of course, yeah, defended here by 3 people, so it's a 3 versus 3. More people coming in now. Should be a 5v5 at some point. Keep in mind that Nautilus is still down. So it's a 5v4 plus the tower. And that apparently is enough. A little bit of baiting going on here. Yeah, they're not going for that. They know that the rest of the team is missing. And they know that they're probably hiding out in that bush behind the Morgana. So yeah, another dragon. Not that it really matters, but yeah, a little bit of extra gold. A little bit of extra stats. And by this time, we see that there's a 6k lead for the red team. That should be enough to close it out. I mean, 6k is a pretty big deal. Yeah, Katarina going for the kill here, but not managing to do a whole lot. She's going to almost get killed by just the support. And then, yeah, she's going to come back in, but she's at like 400 and something health. So, yeah, probably not a good plan. She's at 200 and something health. Yeah, a little bit of poke and you can completely lose that that champion, and you really don't want that. Because you saw how much pressure they could actually put up when just the support was missing, and the support might actually die again. Yes, he does. There is, yeah, no good positioning on this guy, it seems. He just overextends and hopes that his tankiness will keep him alive. That is of course not the case. He needs to stay alive, he needs to be able to do that ultimate, as well as several of his other abilities. And yeah, if you're alone and you get killed like that, then there is no pressure from your team. And that is going to make it really hard for this blue team to actually do something while he's away. They are just defending a little bit. The red team not really interested in doing anything either. They're not really pressuring anything. It's they're not even taking enemy jungle. Every now and then they are, but not really in the amount that I would expect from them. They're super far ahead. They must know they're super far ahead because they're 7 kills ahead, as well as a dragon. But yeah, they don't really, or they might not know how many dragons they actually lost. So all in all, yeah, they should know that they're far ahead, especially seeing how easily these team fights have been, well, going for them. And especially with, well, a jungler doing well, a mid laner doing well, and AD carry doing well. The only one that's really not doing too hot at this moment is the top laner. And yeah, this is very unfortunate. Yeah. This is why you don't want to travel out alone in the mid to late game. Because if you get caught, then yeah, the rest of your team is so screwed. And yeah, you can see it here. It's pressure. Of course, there's a lot of poke going on from the red team. The poke really not too much of a problem normally, but if you only have 4 guys versus 5, then yeah, the little bit of poke they actually do land is actually a really, really big deal because, well, you're already behind. So, yeah. Oh, I thought he missed it, but he does get the last hit on that. Yeah, even though this this seems to be doable to actually get this well, to get this game back on the road for the blue team. I don't really see that. As in, I don't really see how they're supposed to come back from this. They keep losing people before the team fights, and then once they have the team fights under, or well, not under control, once the team fights start, they get poked a little bit and they really can't do anything anymore. It seems that we do have a godlike mid lane here, which is excellent. I mean, Ari does work well with gold, and yeah, seeing that the Katarina got an easy kill, sorry, an early kill. It was an easy one as well, but that was not the point. She got an early kill and she still didn't manage to do anything with the gold that she got from that. Of course, it's only like 300 gold, so it's not like it's a big deal. Surrender vote fails here for the blue team. I don't really understand why, but I guess just like in any other game, there are a lot of people who don't read the game state very well. Red team does get it. It was a valiant attempt there at a steal, but yeah. It was in fact not the jungler who took it, so there was actually an opportunity there to steal it. And almost getting sniped there. They recalled in the bush. The ward came down in that same bush, but it was just too late. So, all in all, yeah, this game should have been surrendered. I mean, they should know by now that there's really no way this is going anywhere. Riven, yeah, there you could see the burstiness that she has. She didn't really have to use her ultimate. I guess she wanted to get a quick kill, making sure that she didn't get, well, swarmed by the rest of the team. So yeah, there is something to be said for that, well, for using the ultimate. Of course, the ultimate does not have a very long cooldown, it's already halfway done. But yeah, she could have used it for this fight that is now coming up. And it's going to put her at a bit of a disadvantage, and there you can see why. The Tryndamere, of course, yeah, just insane damage with those critical hits. And yeah, critical hits, they are kind of overpowered in any type of game. So good spell shield means that she doesn't get stunned, and it means that they do have a fighting chance here. The problem is they just, yeah, the blue team just doesn't have the CC well, that they need. Well, they do have the CC, it's just that they can't land it. They did get one kill, but look at what they're losing for it. They're now going to lose like 3 guys for that kill. And that is just very unfortunate. Yeah, double kill. And red team at least is going to pick up this dragon. So yeah, dragon once again going to the red team. It's 3-1 now. It's not as big a deal, as I said, as it usually was. But yeah, well, it is still not very fun to lose all of those. And they also lost the Baron. So Baron buff, of course, still very, very powerful, and yeah, we can see that here. The blue team has no chance of defending this at all. This should have been surrendered way, way, way back. And remember that I said at 20 minutes that there wasn't really any team fighting going on yet? Well, at 20-something minutes, they should have surrendered. Like 24, something like that. I forgot the, well, I didn't look at the exact time. But you can check it back. But yeah, that's kind of the problem of this game, in my opinion. Like, the games are basically decided in the laning phase. That's just how this game plays. And yeah, you can do a lot about that, because there are several other games that are like this, but aren't decided in that early laning phase stage. And here it's just, yeah, I'm not talking about like the pro games. The pro games, that's a whole different story, because that's 5 guys communicating and knowing all the ins and outs of their champions as well as their composition, and actually having a game plan. I mean solo queue. Solo queue is mostly over by the 12-minute mark. Whoever is ahead then is going to win the game, and the amount of actual comebacks, so yeah, it's just very small. Just the percentage is so small, it's insane. But yeah, anyway, we are going to see a good push here. They are going to get a lot of damage done on the towers, and now on the Nexus. The Nexus should fall before they can actually do anything here. So yeah, come on guys, just end it. There you go. So not a very interesting game in the late game, but in the early game you could really see where the problems lie for the or lied for this team. The top lane being completely dominated, even though now both of them are 5 and 5. The jungler, of course, well, here you can see the Sejuani 0 and 5 with only 5 assists, whereas the Nidalee, of course, has 6, 0 and 10. So not only does she have better escapes because she has so many of those little jumps, she also has just better damage. And I'm not saying that this is, well, relevant for every game, but in general, Nidalee is just a better choice, even though Sejuani, oh my god, her kit is so good. It's just that it doesn't fit together properly. Like, I don't know why, it seems just too hard to apply it to people. You have so many stuns and slows, and still it doesn't work. I don't know why. But anyhow, yeah, that's it. I guess there's nothing more to say. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. GG.